is Jordan, and today I'm going to be doing the TBR Book Tag. I wasn't tagged to do this tag, but I thought it was fun anyway. I don't know who created it, but I'll link the whoever did this down below. From a booktuber that I found this tag. She got it from a book blog, and I'll link her video down below as well. The point of this tag is about your TBR pile, so enough talking, so let's get started. Question 1. How do you track your TBR? Usually I can remember what books that I've read and have not read. I don't usually like put sticky notes on them or something, but if I need to, if I forget, I usually write down the books that I've read as well as the ones I haven't read yet, so yeah. Question 2. Is your TBR mostly print or ebook? They're mostly print. I don't usually put books that are on my TBR in my Nook just because I only use my Nook for travel reasons, so if there's any book that I might be in the mood for when I'm on a trip, I usually add to my Nook, so most of my TBR are physical books. Question 3. How do you determine on which book from your TBR to read next? For me, it all depends on my mood. If there's a book to movie adaptation coming up, I usually am immediately on my TBR because I want to read it before the movie comes out, so that's one example there. I don't usually know what I'm in the mood for unless I definitely know what I'm in the mood for. I just finished Cinder, and I'm in the middle of reading books that are mostly fantasy right now, so I've been in a mood for fantasy lately, so I don't know what I'm in the mood in unless I see a book that catches my eye at the moment. Question 4. A book that has been on your TBR the longest. For me, I've been trying to track down which books have been on my TBR the longest, but the only thing I can think of is the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. I have read The Lightning Thief and The Sea of Monsters, but I have not finished the rest of the series for whatever reason, so they've been on my TBR the longest, and if I would pick another one would be the Shadowhunter Chronicles, so I want to read those so badly, but I haven't been in the mood to read them, so Percy Jackson series have been on my TBR the longest. Question 5. A book that you just recently added to your TBR. I picked Ready Player One by Ernest Cline because the movie is coming out and I want to read it so badly, and I've heard a lot of good things from BookTube, so I really want to read this really badly because of that. Question 6. A book on your TBR that is strictly because of its cover. I picked The Forgetting by Sharon Cameron. I want to read this book not just because of its plots, but the cover is so gorgeous, and underneath is beautiful as well. It has quotes along with, I think, cherry blossoms, petals or something, but I want to read this book so badly since the sequel just came out and I bought it recently, and I'll link my book haul down below so you guys can check it out, but I bought the second book because I hope it would get me a push to read The Forgetting. Question 7. A book that you're never planning on reading. What kind of question is that? For me, I would not say I would never read the books that are on my TBR unless I'm just not in the mood to read at the moment. I wouldn't considerably say that I would never read them, just because, one, for me as a reader, that's kind of rude to the books, and two, I would want to give every book a chance that I can, so I would know that I end up enjoying the book even though I say I would never read it, but I would want to give it a chance, so I didn't pick any books for this question. Question 8. An unpublished book that you're on your TBR that you're excited for. I'm excited for Winter Glass by Lexa Highlighter. This is the second book of the Spindle Fire duology or trilogy. I'm not really sure, but it's the second book of it, or the sequel to it, so I'm wanting to read it because I enjoyed Spindle Fire, and I'm going to reread it before then. So I'm definitely going to... I'm definitely excited about Winter Glass, plus the cover is really beautiful. Question 9. A book that on your TBR that everybody has read but you. I really try to pick every books that some of my friends on BookTube have read recently, or has read except me, but all I can think of is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. I don't know who else has read the book, but I want to read it because of the plot, and again, gorgeous cover. So I want to read it because it looks like a fairy tale book. That's why I bought it, and plus I want to read it as soon as I can. Question 10. A book on your TBR everybody recommends to you. Someone recommended to me when I asked to recommend me some fantasy books because I was doing a recommendations video on fantasy books, and I picked The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I'm holding Scarlet because I already read Cinder, and I'm going to read Scarlet on audiobook as soon as I'm done with Long May She Reign. The day I'm filming this is during my spring break, so I'm pre-filming a lot of videos, but I'm excited to go right into Scarlet as soon as I'm done and read the rest of the Lunar Chronicles. Question 11. A book on your TBR that you're dying to read. I would pick all of the books, but specifically I'm picking Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle. I have read the retelling of Sherlock Holmes, which is a stay in Scarlet. I read it and I loved it, and plus I've watched Sherlock and Sherlock Holmes starring Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law, and I've been wanting to read Sherlock Holmes since I've seen the movies, plus I've read the retelling of it, and I really want it so bad. In case anybody asks, this is the Barnes & Noble's Classic Edition, so I definitely want to read Sherlock Holmes so badly. Question 12. How many books are there on your TBR shelf? Oh boy, give me a second. So I have 148 books on my TBR. I was helping last, but I wasn't expecting that many books on my TBR, so yeah, shame on me for having so many books on my TBR. So that's all for the TBR book tag. The people I'm going to be tagging, I'll be linking in the description down below, so if you're tagged, boom, you've been tagged. And if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, and comment down below some of the books that I mentioned that I should definitely read, because I need a push for some of the books that I haven't read yet, plus some of them that I'm ashamed of not finishing a book series like Percy Jackson or The Moral Instruments or any of the Shadowhunter books. So, and if you want to follow me on social media, I have Facebook under Lost Reader, and I have Twitter and Instagram on Lost Reader 19. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!